I remember when I was around 7 or so when I started having a Monster High phase. Others had Barbie and Bratz, but Monster High was different. It was an obsession. My parents had gotten me some of the dolls, I watched the movies non-stop, played the games, I even dressed up as Claudine for Halloween and won my grade's prize for best costume. Man, I missed that Hello Kitty doll. But nonetheless, it had a huge part in making who I am today and most likely many others. So what happened? Nowadays, I haven't really been keeping up with Monster High until I ended up coming across the designs for the new movie, and well, I have some things to say. So let's try to figure this out. What happened to Monster High? Before we get into the part you probably clicked for, I'll just give a quick rundown for the uninformed. For those unaware, Monster High is a doll line created by Garrett Sander and was launched by Mattel in 2010. It focused on ghouls and mansters, yes, that's what they're called, that went to this high school called, you guessed it, Monster High. Wait, would it officially be called Monster High School, or can schools just call themselves highs or something? Anyways, the doll line was based around alternative subcultures due to the creator noticing when he was shopping with young girls that they were buying gothic clothes and made the dolls around the dark aesthetic. And monsters. Can't forget about those. The web series and movies showcased more into the characters' lives and events at school, mainly Frankie Stein, Draculaura, Claudine Wolf, Cleo Denial, Laguna Blue, and others. I just realized Draculaura doesn't have a last name. It was a huge success, though, with a few ups and downs because some parents thought it was quote-unquote inappropriate. I'm glad my parents never thought about it like that, or else I'd probably be basic and wouldn't be making this video right now. Eventually, all good things comes to an end, which resulted in the discontinuation of the franchise in 2018. Nowadays, it isn't as easy to get a doll as it used to, because the doll that used to be around $20 is now... yikes. But I know you're gonna ask,
Star, how did this happen? You said it was a huge success.
well... So apparently in 2014, sales for Monster High started getting lower, which resulted in a reboot happening in 2016, which, as we all know, aren't good. At all. But the reboot basically did a lot of things. They softened up the dolls, giving them baby eyes. No longer are the Hot Topic-inspired clothes darker colors, in comes the bright blues and pretty pinks. Wait a minute. They look like they're going to the first day of kindergarten. The material on the dolls look cheaper and designs aren't as good, especially the Fear Leader line. There are so many things wrong about this line. There's nothing iconic about these styles, to be honest. If you were to take away their monster features, they'd look like basic girls. And sure, you could do that with the originals, but at least they looked cool. They even rewrote the backstory and made a new song. Again! Look, call me old, but you can't outdo Fright Song, and We Are Monster High was pretty good. It doesn't even hit as well. Also, how do you boo? There's just so many things about this that was weird, and most of the fandom agreed. It seems like Mattel was now conforming to the parents that was upset by the series.
Okay, I know we said Monster High is supposed to accept flaws and be different, but you know what? Let's make them look like every other toy on the market.
I wonder if that backfired. You tell me. Even the creator left because he didn't agree with the direction Monster High was going in. And I don't blame him. Mattel apparently did this to appeal to younger and the changing audiences, and I can only ask, why? They already had the fan base that grew up, not to mention the franchise was 6 years old when they tried to reboot it. I'm sure Barbie was decades old when they tried to reboot her, it's weird. And so, because of how big the flop was, Monster High was discontinued 2 years later. It's unfortunate because this franchise felt like it had so much love put into it. At first. But then companies couldn't help themselves but to do whatever it takes to make sure they have money. But you've read the title card. It was only the beginning. So in 2021, Mattel announced Monster High would be back and better than ever, with new dolls, new TV series, a new live-action movie. We haven't had that yet. That sounds awesome! What the is this? Everyone, me included, were baffled and confused because they don't look good at all, especially Laguna. Oh, we'll get to Laguna. Everyone, or at least Monster High fans were on the internet making fun and talking about the designs. I think everyone hoped they would put a Sonic movie, but the movie's coming out in October, so all hope is probably lost. But I want to give my opinion on each of them, so here we go. Frankie is one of the ones that I initially had a problem with. Their skin is more blue than green and their outfit looks like it's made out of construction paper. There's not as much plaid as the original, and I feel like there's too many random colors like the neon green chain and the neon hot pink one earring they have. The original had a lot more colors that pulled it together, like the blues and greens, but also had the red that was just used more than one area. Also, where are their bolts? Their stitches? I mean, they have a stitch in their face, which I mean, sure, but at least put the bolts in. They just look like someone painted their skin for a cosplay. Draculaura isn't bad design-wise, though I find it weird she lost her accent, which I feel like added to the original's charm. You can hear Draculaura's voice and go, oh, is that Draculaura? Now it's just weird without it.
2 minutes left. This chick. Never works. Sometimes being a vampire really sucks.
Never knock on a closed coffin.
See? Also, whenever I think Monster High, I think of Draculaura's accent, so thanks, Nickelodeon. Also, there's this thing at the beginning where they made her a witch, which I and many others criticize, but I think they're now going on the route that she's a vampire that likes witchcraft. I mean, that's fine, a little weird and misleading a little, but it's not bad. From the trailer, she seems sarcastic, if that's the right word, which is strange since Draculaura has been known to be sweet and friendly. Like Draculaura, Claudine isn't as bad, though there are some weird things about her character. They made her the protagonist, which is usually Frankie's role from the TV series, but I mean, okay. I feel like she isn't as fierce as the original. I'm confident if it was 2010 Claudine and she was called a little doggy, she would have thrown hands.
Who you calling little?
I think you're upset at the wrong thing there, girl. Also, there's supposed to be this romance between Deuce and Claudine, which is terrible, just terrible. What happened to Cleo and Deuce? See, that made more sense because there was like this one story with Cleopatra and snakes and stuff, I think. This just seems like a thing the writers forced a romance for the sake of there being a romance subplot, which I have to ask, why? If you absolutely wanted a romance, then why not make another character for Claudine to crush on instead of ruining Deuce and Cleo? Speaking of, Cleo's design is weird. Why is she blue now? Where are her bandages? She doesn't even look like a mummy, she just looks like a girl that likes wearing blue. I mean, the character's still the same, I guess, but the design is lacking. Laguna? Oh my gosh, Laguna. What have they done to her? She doesn't really look like a sea monster. If anything, she looks like a unicorn vomited all over her. She also got this rainbow thing going on, which never really gives a sea theme. People usually think blues, greens, maybe purples, cooler colors, unless you're Barbie. And it's literally in her name, Laguna Blue, which means there have to be, you guessed it, blue. Her skin isn't even blue, which is dumb when you consider they painted Frankie, Draculaura, Heath, and others, but not the sea monster? Yeah, okay. That's 2 for 2 for human-looking characters. But wait, there's more! Deuce looks completely normal. No snakes in his hairs, no punk look, nothing. Ain't he Medusa's son, who is a Gorgon? Who are creatures who have snakes for hair? They probably tried to do a skin scale type thing, but it looks more like a rash. There are many other offenses like Heath's hair, Gulia, and Abby's looks, and the school itself. It just looks like a normal high school, and that's scarier to me. I feel like they could have just went to Hot Topic or got some cosplayers and put something together. Oh, would you look at that? Frankie's dressed in Claudine shirt. Interesting. There's also the leaked Gen 3 dolls, and they don't look promising. Why is Frankie gray? Claudine looks like an art kid in my opinion, and I don't know how to feel about Draculaura. I mean, they're cute, but they don't feel like Monster High. So, what do we do now? We'll cry for one. It feels like they're not getting what made Monster High, well, Monster High. Fans didn't like the reboot. They made the collector's dolls, which were somewhat well received since some say that they were messed up when they got them, but at least they looked like Monster High. And then they did the same thing again as last time, now with neon colors and not even good representing of the monsters they're based on. It's basically Rainbow High, but the characters can take off their limbs and have weirdly shaped ears, and ooh, that's in cobwebs. Monster High was supposed to be about celebrating your differences and being different from the rest, which is ironic because there aren't any plus-size characters or outwardly LGBTQ. But aside from that, it seems long gone. It looks like every other Nick Jr. show like Little Charmers and Sunny Day, whatever that is. And it sucks, because I and many others feel like their childhood is getting trampled on. I mean, now that I think about it, my Monster High phase was kind of foreshadowing my current style. Because it was cool, it was creepy, it was iconic, and now it's not like that anymore. To me, they seem timeless. I'd totally play with them if I still had the old dolls. For now, all we can hope is that they'll make more inclusivity regarding LGBTQ+, body positivity, and different ethnicity. I mean, when are we gonna get a character from the Caribbean? They probably call it the Caribbean or something, but please? At least? So, my words to Mattel. Please do better. Thank you for watching. Honestly, when I first saw the designs, I ended up ranting to my friend for about an hour about how this whole thing was dumb. As for the movie, honestly, I'm probably gonna hate watch it. I might make a review someday. Maybe. Who knows? So, hopefully I didn't get anything wrong about the information. But I do want to hear your thoughts about this whole thing. Comment down below what you think. If you like the video, subscribe, so whenever I actually do upload again, you can be able to see it. Maybe like the video too if you really liked it. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Later!